Hi, it's Chef Rick, and today I'm making chicken teriyaki stir fry.
Right, this is a really simple one, but there's loads of prep and chopping, so it's going to be very much a chopping video here. Start with the chicken breast and slice it very carefully with a sharp knife, and you want to slice it into thin slices, 1/2 centimetre. What sort of width is that? That width. Not too thick and not wafer thin. So chop the whole breast up like that. And now any of the longer pieces, just chop those in half so you're getting really nice small bits. And anything that's a tiny bit gristly or has any kind of sharp bits on there, just chop those off and get rid of them. So you want this kind of really nice and pretty. That's our chicken chopped up. Red chilli. Keep the seeds in. Chop off the top. And we're going to give this a rough chop. We're not going to mince it or turn it into anything too small, but it is going to have a fairly decent chop up. So chop it into slices. And then, as we always do whenever we're making anything smaller, just take your time now and just work the knife across, back and forth. Keep bringing it back into the middle. But again, you're not going to do much more than that. You only want it chopped up roughly. So there's your chilies. So now we get the chili. Add that to the chicken. It's garlic paste. Quantities down in the description, of course. Teriyaki sauce. You can make this fresh. I'll do a video where you make your fresh teriyaki, but just use a store-bought because this is a midweek, nice and easy. And this is a marinade for your chicken, so give this a good mix round. You want to get it nicely covered up with cling film, and then in the fridge at least an hour, best overnight. If you can do this, you see how easy that was and how quick it was. Just leave it in there overnight, let it really sit in the marinade. And again, now this is all just going to be veg prep, so we're going to do a red pepper. Whenever we chop a red pepper, chop off the top, chop off the bottom, run the knife around the inside just to remove the core. Pop out the stalk from the middle. And now there's all the bits of a pepper that are edible. And then we're just going to chop these into thin slices, about the same width as we did the chicken. Because it's going to be cooked very quickly, but we don't want things to melt and fall apart. We want them to kind of keep their texture, but be cooked through. So that's how we're going to chop the pepper. This is a pak choi, and really delicious Asian veg. They are a little bit dirty at the end, so wash them. Oh, don't get too wet when you're doing it. And just chop off the very closest bit towards the root there, and run a knife down the centre. That's your pak choi ready to go. That'll wilt really nicely when it goes in. 1 red onion. Keep the root side intact as we always do. Just chop off the top. Again, down through that root. By keeping the root intact, as we say in pretty much most of the videos, that's going to stop you crying. Peel off the outside layer of skin. And again, slice that around the same thickness that we did the peppers and the chicken. Just like that. Oh, if you get a chance, by the way, please, if you could like and subscribe to these videos, really means the world to me. So thank you if you choose to do that. So that's the onion. Spring onion. This one's just for decoration. So all we're doing there, just chop off the tip again. And this one, a much finer chop, because it's going to be sprinkled over the top of this. But the only thing that's slightly different here, you see I'm chopping it at an angle. So you get slightly longer, thinner slices. And that's some spring onion just for decoration on the top. Now to the wok on a very high heat. This is my old wok. My brother-in-law got me a beautiful wok for Christmas. So this is I filmed this previously, of course. This wok's nowhere near big enough. So oil in there till it's smoking hot. You see the smoke in there? And now you add in that chicken. This is hot, and be careful as you do this, because it will spit a little bit as well. But you need it on that high heat. As soon as you've got that in there, get mixing it around. Get as much of that chicken touching the outside of that hot wok as you can, because you want it to start cooking. You want it to cook fairly quickly as well. So keep moving it around. Don't give it a chance to stick. but you do want it to sit on the actual surface of that wok for you know, so it's cooking, gets a little bit of colour on it as well. Whenever I'm editing these and watching them back, I can just think of the smell. It smells absolutely amazing now as it's coming off. You see that's been cooking for about 3 minutes, and the chicken is now pretty much cooked through. The sauce is really thickening as the juice is coming off the chicken, obviously going into that teriyaki, chili and garlic mixture. Now we're going to add bean sprouts. We didn't have to do any prep with those, so the bean sprouts, the red peppers, the red onion and the pak choy. And start to give it a bit of a mix round. This will all start to wilt in a minute. You can see a bigger wok would have been ideal, but don't worry at all. You'll see that as that pak choy gets hotter, it just wilts really quick. As with the onion, it'll shrink, and so will the red peppers slightly. Just give that a good mix round. There you go. So you can see it's already kind of getting a bit more manageable, getting a lot smaller. Just keep cooking that. Keep the heat nice and hot. Again, this is probably going to be 5 minutes of cooking time, so this can be really, really quick. So we're going to add sugar and salt. Get all of that combined. That's obviously to season it. The sugar sweetens it up slightly, but I find that the sugar, like we did with the Scotch bonnet pickle recipe, it kind of brings that chili out as well. Give it a taste, give that sauce a taste if it needs anything else, any other seasoning. If not, get it off the heat. Lovely hot plate and plate up. And that's it. That's how easy it is to do a stir fry. I did some rice with this as well. My rice is horrible. I'm no good at cooking rice, so I didn't want to include that in a video. You can serve this however you want, but that is a very, very simple chicken teriyaki stir fry. This recipe is a bit of a clone from the Wagamama's cookbook, so a big shout out to Wagamama's. Thank you every single person who watches these videos. Hit like and subscribe, etc, etc, and I'll see you on the next one.